Hello there! It's good to see you again. I hope you're having a really great time. We're here again, your English learning buddies, Sir Deejay and Dan, to make sure you will learn and we will enjoy our English lessons together. So make sure you have your pen and your paper ready, because once again, we will explore the wonders of this universal language. Time is of the essence, so let's get this started. Do you like dressing up? Just like most of us, have you ever had a hard time choosing which outfit would be best to wear? How long does it take for you to dress up? How many clothes do you have? For the ladies, do you know that 92% of women own at least one clothing item they have never worn? That's just crazy, right? Try it tonight. Check your closet and you'll be surprised that you actually have one piece of clothing that you have not worn since you bought it. For the gents out there, do you know that some studies say that men check themselves out in front of a mirror more often than women? Remember when you just walked by a car and immediately checked your reflection? You then finger brushed your hair and confidently winked at yourself, thinking that you're James Reid. Well, that's because we want to look good, right? Whether you're a man or a woman, you always want to leave a good impression by looking nice. Just like what Charles Hicks said, looking good is not self-importance, it's self-respect. Keep in mind that you can't just wear anything you want in certain situations. What you wear should always be appropriate for the situation or place that you're in. Remember, dressing well is a form of good manners. Now, let's try to see if we can properly decide on how to look and dress in certain situations. Let's help Dan dress up so he can dress appropriately for the place and the occasion. I will be telling you Dan's destination and help us decide his OOTD. Are you up for it? Let's play How Should He Look? Help Dan get off the hook. For the first one, Dan wants to go to the market. Let's help him with this attire. For his head, we have 3 choices. Which do you think is appropriate for the market? Here are your choices. What's that? Do you think it's okay for him to wear a cap? Yes, you're right. It's okay to wear a cap in the market. Good one. What about for his top? Which do you think is okay to wear to the market? Choose from these. If you think it's B, then you got that right. A plain shirt would do. Good one. For his bottoms, what should Dan wear? Choose one. Good choice. Dan could wear his jeans. What about for his feet? Which among the following footwear should Dan wear to the market? If you think the answer is B, then that's a good answer. Dan can wear his slippers to the market. Good job, guys. Now let's see Dan's market outfit. Wow, you have good taste. Dan looks satisfied with his look. Off to the market, Dan. Now for his next destination, Dan is going to attend a corporate meeting. Let's help him with this look. What hairstyle should he wear? Choose from these, guys. Obviously, it can't be A. Dan can't wear a mohawk hairstyle to a formal meeting. Excellent. Dan should have a formal hairstyle. That's letter C. Good one. What about for his top? Which among these do you think is the most appropriate for a corporate meeting? What's that? Do you think it's A? Very good! Wearing a suit and tie is best for his meeting. What about his pants? What should he wear? Can he wear his swimming trunks? Of course not. You're correct. Dan should wear his slacks for the meeting. Very good. And lastly, what should he wear for his feet? Which do you think is the most formal among the following footwear? Absolutely. The best choice is to wear his leather shoes. Fantastic work! Let's try to look at his outfit. Thank you so much, guys. Now let's try to take a look at Dan's outfit in our game. Notice how the first one looks so different compared to the second. Dan's first look is informal, while the second one is formal. Obviously, it is not a good idea to wear informal attire to a business meeting, and vice versa. The same goes for communication. We can't speak in an informal style in a formal setting. Our communicative style should be appropriate for the situation we are in. Why are we talking about this? Well, that's because for today's episode, we will talk about the third speech style, the formal communicative style. Excited? Hang in there, guys. As we always do, let's have a recap of what we've discussed before. I sure hope you can still remember our previous lessons. What is a communicative style? Exactly. It refers to a specific form of language that a speaker utilizes, which is characterized by a certain level of formality or informality. Can you remember the 5 communicative styles that we've mentioned? You're right! They are casual, consultative, formal, frozen, and intimate. These styles are important in all types of communication because it will help you choose the appropriate approach for specific events and situations. Picking the correct style can help prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. You're doing well. Here's my next question. Who do you think are the people who usually utilize the casual communicative style? If you think that the casual communicative style is often used by friends and peers or people who are very familiar with each other and belong to a certain group, then you got that right. The consultative communicative style is present in regular classroom discussions and in the following situations as well. Group discussions, doctor to patient, lawyer to client, counselor to client, teacher to student, and expert to apprentice. Unlike the casual style, the consultative style is used in semi-formal communication. This is the normal style one uses when speaking to strangers or persons who are neither acquaintances, nor friends, nor relatives. You did great! It's good to know that you are keeping your lessons in mind. You make Dan and I feel so delighted. As I mentioned a while ago, we will be talking about the formal communicative style. Formal speeches are straightforward speeches. They are used in speaking to large groups and are impersonal in nature. The speaker must frame whole sentences ahead of time before they are delivered and use formal English. And he must avoid using slang terminologies. The language used in this communicative style is comparatively rigid and has a set agreed upon vocabulary of structured, complex sentences and noun phrases. Just like what we realized in our game a while ago, you wouldn't wear a suit to the market, just like you wouldn't walk around in flip-flops at a funeral. For example, Mr. Smith, I am pleased to make your acquaintance is a formal version of Hi John, nice meeting you. Formal communication is a style of speaking or writing that's neutral, orderly, controlled, and explicit. It follows certain protocols, and it does not have an indication of close personal acquaintance. It can be utilized in meetings, speeches, school lessons, corporate meetings, interviews, sonas, welcome addresses, announcements, orations, scholarly books or articles, research papers, and technical reports. While the goal of most writing is to communicate with as much clarity as possible, the goal of formal communication is to distinguish oneself as a part of a certain social group. It's about showcasing your ability to speak and write in an effortful manner. So you're probably thinking, how do we compose a statement in a formal communicative style? Here are some tips to raise the formality of your tone. Let's take a look at Sir Deejay and Dan's English hacks. Tip number 1. Try to avoid using contractions. Contractions like your for you are and don't for do not can make our statements sound informal. Stick to the complete version to raise the formality of your tone. Tip number 2. Lessen the use of personal pronouns. When writing formally, you are aiming for objectivity. That means taking your personal or other people's views out of the equation. Don't say, "you'll look more decent in a suit." Say, "one looks more decent in a suit." Can you still remember your lessons on the voices of verbs? Another way to make things more objective is to rely on the passive form. For example, the ability to converse formally can be developed through constant practice. Tip number 3. Use Mr., Mrs., or Miss plus the surname. Using first names is linked with friendship. Keep things neutral by referring to DJ as Mr. Santiago. By the way, if you don't know whether a lady you are addressing is married or not, use Miss. Tip number 4. Avoid slang. Slang might give you street cred, but it will destroy whatever formal image you want to create. Lastly, tip number 5. Try to use elegant words. You can replace many everyday words with more sophisticated synonyms. But turns into however, still into nevertheless, talk into converse, so into thus, and more. I sure hope you've been taking down notes during our discussion. Now, for our last mind-blowing activity, I will be reading some informal words or phrases, and you will try to make them formal. Write your answers down in your notebooks. Are you up for that? Let's play written or oral. Let's change informal into formal. Check out the first one. Don't reply. How can this be formal? Correct. Do not reply. We should avoid using contractions in the formal communicative style. Easy, right? Let's try the next one. Your company hired new workers last year. Keep in mind that we are trying to avoid using personal pronouns. Also, it is better to use the passive voice of the verb. How can we make this formal? Write your answers down. You are right. New workers were hired by the company last year. Great work, guys. What about this one? We are trying to talk to a man named Jericho Miguel Junio. Dear Jericho, I don't think that is formal. How should we do it? Exactly. We should use Dear Mr. Junio. Well done. Let's go to the next one. Also, instead of using this word, what's a formal word we can use in its place? That's right. We can use furthermore or moreover. And for the last one, thanks. How can we make this formal? Good thinking. We can say, I sincerely appreciate your assistance. Well, that sounds better. I'm sure you were able to make all those informal words and phrases sound more formal. Thank you very much for keeping up with us up to this point. You did very well in our activity. I'm really impressed. And that ends our episode for today. That was spectacular. Oh, will you look at the time? It flies when you're having fun indeed. I hope you had a brilliant time with us, your English learning buddies, Sir DJ and Dan. Stay tuned because in the next episode, we will talk about the 4th communicative style. Always keep safe, guys. Keep up the good work. And as I always say, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. See you in the next one. Peace.